Welcome, everyone. This is Dr. Laurette Willis with Wellness 360 Live. And we are live, and we're so grateful that you are with us this evening, or if you're watching the replay, wherever you are around the world. We have something very exciting to share with you. But first, oh gracious, is it okay to share a little bit of a downer? I'm going to share a little bit of a downer, but we have an answer. We have an answer for it. This is an amazing quote that I heard recently. If the fish tank is dirty, you don't drug the fish. If the fish tank is dirty, you don't drug the fish. This was said by a former pharmaceutical rep who is now sounding the alarm about the health crisis in North America, in the Western world. It's happening all over the world, and I'm talking about obesity. All right. But I want you to know there is an answer. There's some really, really good answers. But first, just speaking of America right here, we've got a dirty fish tank. And the answer is not drugging the fish, right? 50% of teens and 80% of adults are overweight. 50% of Americans are pre-diabetic. 33% of young adults and teens are pre-diabetic. So there's got to be an answer. And for me, I was doing all the right things. My name is Dr. Laurette Willis. I'm not a medical doctor, nor do I play one on television, but I'm a doctor of theology. We have two international ministries, a fitness ministry and a weight loss ministry, which is hysterical, the Lord's sense of humor, that I battled with weight most of my life. And you know what happened when I started on these drops that you're going to hear about this evening? I found the missing piece of the puzzle. And I tell you, it gave me a sense of peace also to have found it. It was about balancing hormones. Had no idea it would make such a difference. So as the founder of Praise Moves Fitness Ministry, and I'm also a cognitive behavioral therapist, I have promoted health and wellness products the last 25 years. It's something I truly believe in, supplementing a good, healthy diet, right, with healthy nutrition that you're not going to find in our food supply, unfortunately. Well, here are my results, and if you could share the before and after, please. I still can hardly believe this myself. The before, 19 pounds in 9 weeks, including 3.5 inches of belly fat gone. Even my little dog, Poppy, is going, and you can really see it in my face before. And I really had no idea that I just looked kind of, well, I was saying before, like a chubby muffin. I mean, I had no idea. So it really amazed me. Thank you for sharing that. And it's all from balancing hormones that made such a difference. Well, tonight you're going to hear from 3 very special guests who are involved in health and wellness. And I'm going to ask them to share their thoughts about this as well, about what they're seeing, the crisis that we're seeing in not only North America, but also around the world regarding obesity. And one of them, James, has been with the company that offers these amazing hormone balancing drops. He's been with the company for 13 years. He has a very impressive background in biology and science, so he's going to be sharing with us as well. But first, I'd like to introduce Dr. Jodi Gavonski. Dr. Jodi is a naturopathic doctor, doctor of natural health, certified holistic health professional, functional beauty specialist. And when you see how beautiful she is, you'll see why she's called that. And I don't mean to embarrass you. And she's also certified in plant-based nutrition through Cornell University. This fall, she will be receiving her certification as a clinical homeopathic specialist, so has a lot of background, a lot of research, a lot of education. She's also a Christian author, wife to Todd and stepmom to twins, Micah and Gabby. Dr. Jodi, love to have you come forward. Thanks for joining us this evening. As a naturopath, What are your thoughts about some of those statistics that I shared with you? What are you seeing, and what have you found that has helped?
Yeah, very good. Um, I always start by saying we are spirit, soul, and body, Dr. Laurette. And I love that that's your focus. Rebecca, I love that that's your focus. James, I know that's your focus. And so when you ask me that question, I pray on Mondays that God will reveal what the people need to hear. Because I could talk for hours. Honestly, I say, Lord, you're going to have to help me because there's so much in me that I really want to say, to help people understand how important these products really are. And so as I was praying today, I got several words just kind of that came to my spirit, but two very specific ones as we've been talking here, and that is food and decisions. And so what I see so often, we have lifestyle diseases, cancer, heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, which is now being called type 3 diabetes. And these are known as lifestyle diseases. What does that mean? That means the way you're living your life is creating dis-ease, right? Dis-ease in your body. Well, as spirit, soul, and body, we are responsible to get our spirit lined up first. Our soul is then affected, 3 John 2, which we talk about a lot, which talks about, I pray that you would be in good health, that you would prosper and succeed, even as your soul prospers. So there's that spirit that goes in, when your spirit is in alignment with God, your soul wakes up, you get healed in your emotions, your mind, and then your body follows. It really does. And so I've seen that over and over and over. So how do these products help with that? Well, number one, food. Food is the biggest contributor to lifestyle diseases. Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, said, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. And as a naturopath, we vow to do no harm. And so one way we can do no harm is by helping people get their nutritional life in order. So when I think about what I see with people over and over and over, they come to me with dis-ease. And my first questions are, tell me about your diet. Let's talk about what you're putting in. There are environmental factors and stress and, other things that contribute. But when you get the nutrition lined up, so often the mental wellness comes into alignment. The physical health improves. So what if you could use a product that would help you change your food choices, that would help you feel differently about what you want to eat, how often you eat, and why you eat it. And that's what we've got in these drops. It really is an amazing gift. One friend of mine who came in, Dr. Laurette, you know her, came in today, started the drop, said this, day one, cravings obliterated. Day one, cravings obliterated. And she calls herself a snacky girl. And so if day one, your body is responding to those drops that well, then imagine what's being reversed over time in dis-ease. And so the only other thing that I wanted to share is about decisions. So I also see that people have a hard time making decisions, like, changes, to just literally choose differently. And my husband says, make moves or make excuses. There are those people who can just go, nope, I'm going to do it, or I'm not going to do it. And if I do it, I'm all in. And then there are those who just will talk about it and talk about it and talk about it and never actually do it. Well, one thing about homeopathy is that it really does affect the way you think. It affects the frequencies, the energy in your body, your mindset. So if we have a product that will literally help us change our minds, and again, it all starts with God. If your spirit's not in proper alignment, you're going to be out of whack all of your days. But when I got saved in 2005, and I'll end with this, I had a choice. And I made the biggest decision of my life. And nobody twisted my arm. Nobody told me how to do it. I had mentors. But I had to choose it, and my life changed. And it's the same with our health. When you choose to make decisions that move you towards greater health, everything follows. Your mind feels better, your body feels better. These products, just real quickly, I have one gentleman who's lost 13 pounds in 2 weeks. I have another lady who went off track for a day. The day she got back on, she lost 2 pounds. I have a naturopathic friend who lost 10 pounds in 9 days. These are people who know what to do and have been doing the right thing for a long time. So these drops work. The non-scale victories are amazing. The mental wellness, I have to say this, the back fat, okay? The back fat is being minimized. Right there, ladies, you know what I'm talking about. That little thing right under your bra strap in the back, it's slowly shrinking. Gone, Dr. Laurette says. I'm going to say that underwear fits differently. It does. And that's a big deal for a lot of people. It's a big deal. And lastly, inflammation gone, better sleep, and increased libido. This is a product that's helping people in a lot of areas. I'm so grateful that we have it.
That is wonderful, Dr. Jodi. Thank you so much for sharing. And as James put in the comments, you can't suck in back fat. Sorry, ladies. That was one thing I was noticing. I would reach back and I was like, I can really notice. And, you know, they're called love handles. I call them not so in love with those handles, you know, but they were started to, and I'm like, I'm hardly pinching an inch. And I was like, all I'm doing differently are these drops. This works around the world too, just in case you think, oh, it's only for North America. I have a friend, Mahalia, in the United Kingdom. She is a menopause coach, and she started on the drops, and she dropped 6 kgs in 8 days. And I had to look that up because I'm knowing that was 13 pounds. And I went, oh, you mean 13 pounds? Wow. And she said, my perimenopause symptoms are gone. No more achy joints. And I'm like, girl, put that on our Wellness 360 group. If you don't know about the Wellness 360 group, please put in the chat about that, and we'll invite you, have the person who invited you invite you into it. You will see so many wonderful testimonials as well. So thank you, Dr. Jodi, for your perspective. Spirit, soul, body. We are that whole package. I like to say being a fit witness for Christ and spirit, soul, and body, that whole package, so very important. Next, I want to introduce Coach Rebecca Moore. I've known Rebecca for several years. She's a registered nurse with 18 years of experience. She's also a weight loss and health coach, a minister of the Bible. She is currently working on her mental health coach certification. For over 20 years, she's dedicated her life to promoting healthy lifestyles and advocating for using food as fuel. But she didn't start that way. As many of us perhaps did not have very healthy role models, perhaps growing up. She said she was raised eating unhealthfully, but made it her mission. How many would like to make it a mission for your children, for your grandchildren to be healthier than you? Put in the chat, number one, if that's something that touches your heart. Yeah, I want my children, my grandchildren to be healthier. I'm seeing a lot of ones right there. Absolutely. So Coach Rebecca, you decided to make a change. You know, that's something that you decided to do. What have you been seeing as a registered nurse, and what has your experience been? You've just been on the drops for just a very, very short time, I think like maybe a week, but we want to get your perspective as someone who's brand new, but also hearing about what you have seen in the medical world regarding obesity, people's health, what we were sharing earlier.
Yes. Well, welcome everyone. And I just want to first of all give God all the glory. He is amazing. He is the best thing that ever happened to me. And I also want to say that I'm very honored to be here. I'm honored to be on this team, the Warrior Movement. And this is an exciting time in our world. And, you know, our society has, in the Western world here, we celebrate everything we do with, it seems like, food, you know, and that is kind of how I was raised, is If you did a good job at school, oh, let's have some bread and butter, or let's have a snack or a treat. And so, as I started becoming an adult and seeing, all these bad habits, I was very adamant when I started having children that we were going to make some changes in our family. And it's awesome to watch my children today. My grandson is 5, and I brought him some cocoa wheats to eat one day, and he said, "Nana, is that a carbohydrate?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Oh, well, then I must eat a protein with it." So my daughter is now teaching my grandchildren how to fuel their bodies properly. So, with that being said, so I work in a internal medicine physician's office. I work actually in 2 of those, an orthopedic, a urologist, because I am an RN, which is a registered nurse, and I work as needed. So wherever the nurses are taking vacations or they're off or sick, I fill in. And so what I have been seeing since I've been doing this position is that I have people come in, they sit in the chair, and I get to talk to them first. And I just really like to get to know them and listen to them. And I have had so many different people come in, and the one lady that just truly sticks out to me was a patient who came in, and she brought this baggie with her, and it had this huge clump of hair in it. And she started crying, and she said, I said, "What's wrong?" And she said, "Well, um, I have hypothyroidism, and my doctor, I won't say his name, but he just keeps increasing my thyroid medication." And I mean, she was just so frustrated and scared. She didn't want to be on the medication. I have had people sit in my chair who are morbidly obese and have been told their A1C is on borderline, that they're just about to be a type 2 diabetic. And, there are some who are like just looking for answers, and they're not getting, and this is not to cut down any physician. First of all, I want to make that clear. They only know what they've been taught in school. And like Dr. Jodi, she was taught nutrition and different, homeopathic things. But our other doctors, in Western medicine, it's all about what medication am I going to give my patient? And they call it the maintenance drugs. So there's no healing. These people are on these medications basically for the rest of their life. And unless me as their nurse is training them, which is part of a registered nurse's job, is to teach and educate. And so if you're in a doctor's office and your nurse is not educating you on things, well, then you're in the wrong doctor's office. Because, it's our job to show people that there is different ways. There are better ways. I mean, God created our bodies, and he didn't just leave us here on this earth to fend for ourselves. He created everything we would need from the earth. And I just feel like a lot of patients are very frustrated. I have some who come in and, they have a long list of supplements and they're very happy. They're, not on the medications, but the majority of patients that I see are obese. They have thyroid issues. They have A1C issues. I have women come in who don't even know really anything about their hormones. They don't know about, estrogen and testosterone and progesterone. And they just come in with all these symptoms. And so this right here, I believe, is the answer, along with Renew. And, when I initially got in, I decided to do this because I love Dr. Laurette and I love Monique Jenkins. And I wanted to help Monique. And so I thought, well, I'll start on those drops, and I'll become a brand partner, and it was a little flippant, but I really wanted to help Monique. And so I started on the drops, and in 5 days I lost 4 pounds. I didn't I didn't need to lose 4 pounds, I didn't think, because I thought I was at my ideal weight. But being a mature woman, this little belly thing, this little belly extra fat here, I never had before I went through menopause. And so, do I want it gone? Yes and amen. And I'm believing this is the answer. And I am so excited. I want to tell you a few of my other results because my rings, what I've noticed is lately today, I was like, my rings are just going around. In the summer, how you swell up and they get real tight. All of my rings are turning. I've had an issue with my knee, which I've had some pain about the last 6 months. And I was like, are these drops really helping my knee? So my knee pain has usually been like right around a 6 out of 10. And I mean, it's down to probably about a 2 out of 10. And I mean, these drops are doing something in my body, and I'm super excited. I'm thankful that they're all natural. There's nothing in there that I wouldn't give to my grandchildren. And this is just the most amazing opportunity. I have been in many businesses, and I know we're not talking about that, but I just want to say this is the best thing. And I have prayed and prayed and prayed that God would bring something into my life to where I could be an influencer and change the world. And I believe this is it right here, right now, today. This is the vehicle. If you want to be a changer of the world, just help people, this is your ticket right here.
Drop the mic. That was it. Coach Rebecca, thank you so much for sharing with us from your heart, from your experience. So everyone, this is someone who has just been in for about a week, just started with the products, but she has seen a lot. She has seen a lot. And to be able to have an answer for people, I shared my 19 pounds in 9 weeks, and I was already doing all the right things, or so I thought. Never knew about the hormone balancing element. So our final guest this evening, who will wrap it up, and I'm so grateful to be able to introduce you to James Zheng, who introduced me to these drops and to this opportunity. He has been with the company that produces these drops and also the Renew, which we'll learn about and how that has to do with HGH, human growth hormone production. He's been with the company for 13 years. He had his own health challenges and was able to lose weight on the drops. And he dropped 25 pounds in 40 days himself. He has a biology background from UC Berkeley, and he brings a wealth of scientifically accurate and applicable knowledge to help his clients to transform their lives, like you've heard this evening. James and his wife, Becky, who are expecting their first child in October, they train global sales leaders on how to leverage the drops and create six-figure incomes, six-figure online businesses. They're considered chair people with Partner Co., the company that produces the drops. And he is passionate, which you'll hear this evening. And this is what really drew me to Partner Co. Even more than the drops, the culture, the people. He enjoys showing people how to succeed in their businesses and in their lives God's way. So with that, James, would you please share with us?
Such an honor to be here. Who here feels all the warm and fuzzies, right? Give you a wave or put a me in the comments. Like, how special, how remarkable. Dr. Laurette, thank you for your leadership, for just putting this all together. For those who don't know, Dr. Laurette's only been with the company for a month or two, and she just stepped in and she just said, let's step up with this, right? And that's a encouragement for anybody on the other side of your fears, that next commitment, that next decision, that's where the breakthrough is. That's where God's path typically leads you to, right? He wants, just like Peter stepping out to Jesus, to step on that step of water, which you don't know exactly what's going to happen, but if you look straight ahead to him, then everything's going to be amazing. Coach Rebecca, my gosh, that was amazing. I'm just like, how do we follow that? Your hair looks cooler than mine, by the way. Like, I need to get on your level. So congratulations. Thank you so much. That was so uplifting. And Dr. Jodi, seriously, a wealth of knowledge. I could listen to you for days and days and days. You have an ability to take the complicated and make it so digestible, right? And that's the power of this. So what's kind of ironic is I'm around a bunch of doctors here. And that was my original intention, but I am not a doctor. So I was trying to be, because I'm Asian and that's what you do. So I was going to UC Berkeley. I was studying biology. I was totally intending on that. And what got me into this line of business actually was because I grew up as a byproduct of what everyone here is talking about, that the world is feeding us. I grew up as a byproduct of the food pyramid. If you want a pyramid scheme, that was the pyramid scheme, right? I grew up in the fast food diet. I grew up in the processed food. Like, I look back at my diet and like, well, I thought a vegetable was ketchup, So I grew up chubby. I grew up sick. I'm like, why am I just this way, right? And the world will tell you genetics. No, right? They have found that probably over less than 2% of diseases in the world really happen genetically. There's something called epigenetics, meaning that you can do things circumstantially and for your body that can switch your genes. Like, who here is grateful that you can make a change and actually have some empowerment in your health, right? So I started to understand these concepts, and then I found a tool like the drops, and I was hyper skeptical. I didn't believe in the supplements. I'm like, I don't know, that sounds impossible. But I looked into them and I looked into the science and the clinicals. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. To give you a little description of what these drops are, it's 2 little droppers. You put them in a couple times a day. They're all homeopathic, all plant-based stuff. And the ingredients help support the thyroid. They boost the metabolism. They curb the cravings. They speed up the fat loss. So that if you are looking to lose weight, combined with the things that we know we should do, I think we all know, for example, that a carrot is probably better than a breadstick, right? Like, we know these things, but the drops make it easier to make that transition and faster. The clinical trials showed that you lose weight 2 times faster, actually, than just typical diet and exercise, and not just any weight, but it's the bad weight. It's the visceral fat. It's the fat around the organ. It's that back fat. It's that under the bra fat, I guess. I don't have much experience with that, but it doesn't sound fun, There's other programs out there that if you lose weight, some of us have maybe heard of the shots and stuff. Not all weight loss is the same. You don't want to lose muscle weight, which a lot of those actually go to. You want to lose just the bad fat, which this targets itself, right? So it helps you to balance the hormones, you feel better, and then you release weight as a byproduct. So I heard that science, I'm like, let's just try this out. And it worked. I'm like, dang it, it worked. Because who here, if you found a solution that legitimately changed your life, would feel like it's an obligation to share it with other people, right? If you found the cure to cancer, it would be a shame. It'd be a crime to not share it. So what I loved about this is this gives you a vehicle to be able to share empowering information, just like what you heard today, right? So I also want to share real quick the Renew and how that works. We call this the duo. Who here would love to be able to look and feel younger, right? Like, get Coach, I can't believe Rebecca is a grandma. What? Like, we were prepping for this call and she's like, I just got off an 8-hour drive. And I'm like, how do you have the energy like that after an 8-hour drive? And she's like, I got my Renew, I got my drops. When you feed your body with what it needs, it'll do amazing things. So the Renew is a bunch of natural blends that help you to naturally boost up a hormone called human growth hormone. That's why when you look at kids, they're always like rowdy and they have endless energy. They have a lot of human growth hormone. And this starts to decline after 30 years old. You can lose 15% every decade. By the time you're 50, you can be at around 50% less HGH than your prime. So that's why you feel sluggish. That's why you wake up, you have aches and pains. That's why your skin starts to sag. That's why your hair starts to be not as good. When you boost up human growth hormone again, though, and this is naturally not an added hormone, it just boosts your body's own way to produce it. You start to sleep better. You start to get more energy. You start to improve your cellular regeneration. I have so many friends of mine that are saying, man, I have so much energy now. I don't know what to do with it. I have friends of mine, they're like, man, by the way, this does increase libido as well. So be careful. Be careful. It's kind of intense. So we have a lot of amazing stories with this. So if you combine the drops with the Renew together, I'd highly encourage who here is here today because you want a transformation in your health. You want to take it to the next level. Like do what Rebecca did. Try those two to start out with. Get back with a friend after this for more information how to start with that. They're all amazing, but together they're awesome, and you get a really good savings on that. Okay, but I want to share one other thing. Congratulations, Tabitha. I'm so expectant. I bet on the next call we're gonna have Tabitha, and she's gonna share an amazing testimony. Okay, one thing that I want to share real quick is, and this may or may not be for you, but there's power in this community. Who here, as you are listening to all of our amazing speakers today, already got value and was thinking about somebody that needed this information, right, Monica? You're like, oh my gosh, I wish my hubby was on this. I wish my daughter was on this. I wish my friend was on this, right? What's going to transform the world and change people's decisions, change their food, change their health is being able to be empowered by true education, by true knowledge and true wisdom. The world wants to shut down people's own intellect and force feed them things and basically tell them what to do. What I love about this community, this call, everything you heard today, this is life-giving. Because knowledge, applied knowledge is power. You're like, oh, that makes sense now. I understand I don't have to be this way. I can actually make a change. Or I have some tools as well too. And if you get this information around people, literally lives will be saved. Lives will be changed. I have all of these people have countless stories of people coming up to them, just thanking them. That's the best feeling in the world. So if you can see yourself sharing this, maybe some of you are like, man, how does that work? But you wouldn't mind even getting the product at least paid for yourself. Like that's a pretty cool goal. And some of you might want even more as well too. So the company gives a very cool way to partner. One-time, lifetime $30 membership. You get discounts as well too, by the way. And you now have an opportunity to partner with the products and share this. And we have systems, don't worry. This is not those things that you're going to make a list of 100 people and call up your friends and family. Who here loves spamming your friends and family? You just love it, right? It's your most favorite thing, right? Yeah, none of us want to feel weird or salesy or be that girl or that guy, right? You're not going to do that. We're going to show you simple ways to have people come to you rather than you go to them. We're going to show you how to leverage automated systems that are done for you so you don't have to be an expert, that'll allow you to show up as a human, to love on people, make more friends. We tell people if you're not making more friends through what you're doing here, you're doing it wrong. But you're also going to be able to help and empower and share this and help a lot of people, right? So we have these systems in place and we've had a lot of success. And I just love to be able to ask Laurette. Everyone here has success. But Laurette just achieved a major promotion called director here in record time. Huge congratulations. But Laurette, you are, besides being a phenomenal trainer and speaker and coach and minister and so many different things, you are an incredible entrepreneur. You're extremely business savvy and sharp. What has your experience been with the business side, with the systems that we have, compared to even other things?
Wow. I'm so glad that you asked me that, James, because having limited time, we all have 24 hours in the day, right? But we have it divided up in different ways. And to add something else to our plate often means that something else has to suffer. And I have found that through we call it the machine that you've put together here on this particular team in Partner Co., It's a way to make the most use of your time, duplicating what others have done in a simple step-by-step 7-day launch. Now, here's where I made a mistake at first. I thought, I've got to understand all of this first before I do. And I prayed, and I just sensed in my heart the Lord saying, walk by faith, not by sight. Just step out, just do it, learn while you go. Aren't you glad, if you have children, grandchildren, that they didn't, the moment that they fell down, didn't say, oh, this walking, forget about it. But they were like, no, I'm going to get up, and you build your muscles on the way up. With this, it's so much simpler, I've found, just to follow what's successful. And people are coming to me. I don't have to be Spammy Tammy. Nobody wants to be Spammy Tammy or Spammy Sam, whatever the name might be. But they want to be that one, the person says, what are you doing? Wow, you're glowing. My goodness. And whose picture is that? Lenny came off of diabetes medication. How in the world? And to be that person and to be able to take success and even what to say, just kind of make it your own. I've never seen anything like it. So for someone who has the kind of personality of, if I'm going to invest time in something, I want it to be worthwhile spiritually. I want it to be worthwhile financially. I want it to be something I can feel confident sharing with others to change lives, because my life matters and so does yours. Is it something where I don't have to make excuses? I don't have to say, yeah, this is really good. The product's really good. The culture's kind of crummy. So just kind of overlook that. No, it's like, if this speaks to you, I tell you what, you're going to find a home here. And I'm so grateful, James, for this opportunity to be here.
We're grateful for your yes, because without your yes, we wouldn't all be here. And I want to encourage everyone else, on the other side of your yes are lives that need you. You don't know who it is. God knows who it is. But that decision is so important to be able to make. Thanks for sharing that. And congratulations on your promotion and everything that's happening. You're transforming so many lives. Good times. All right. So as we're concluding this, I know there's going to be a couple different types of people. Some of you are here and you're only looking for the health transformation. If that's the case, definitely get back with your friend and be like, hey, how do I get those drops? How do I get that renew? What is this? How do I start to make that decision, right? It starts with there. All right. Be like Rebecca. Just be like, all right, I'll just try it out. Let's just see what happens, right? You know what's great about the product? It works even if you're skeptical. So give it a shot. And I'd also encourage you, if you'd like to learn more from even Dr. Jodi, we have another call on Wednesday. Who here would love to learn even more from Dr. Jodi? Like, she has so much. So we're doing a call on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, which I'd love to invite all of you to, and you can bring your people to. We're going to be diving deeper into the products even further as well too. All right. So that's if you are somebody interested in the health side. Some of us here might have gotten inspired and encouraged from the business side of things. You see an opportunity, you want to not just be able to pay for your product. Maybe you want to make an extra $500 a month or even way more. We have ways to help people get to 6 figures in 6 months. But I think more, I hope you're that type of person that says, I see an opportunity to transform a lot of people's lives. I see a culture. I see a group. I see a movement that I want to be a part of. We're looking for you. We need more of you in our lives. And if that's the case, partner with us. Get back with your friend and be like, how do I get started? Grab your membership, grab some products, get immersed in our community. I'm telling you, this is going to be the most fun journey of your life. Dr. Laurette started it out. She said, if you're not having fun, you're doing it all wrong. All right. And one other call too. This Thursday, we actually have a call with our owner of this company. And you're going to be able to hear the backstory, the vision, where PartnerCo's going, why this is going to be the #1 company in the world. So Wednesday, we got Jodi. Thursday, we got John. We have a packed lineup and everything. All right, everyone. On that, Laurette, I'll hand it back off to you for any final words. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, James. Everyone, thank you so much for being with us and investing your valuable time to learn more about how you can help others, help yourself, and make a valuable difference in this world. Well, for Dr. Jodi, Coach Rebecca, James, and myself, I'm Dr. Laurette Willis. Get with the person who invited you tonight, and let's get you started on the drops and also renew. Or if you're saying, I think I could make a difference in other people's lives, I've been looking for a way to make a difference also with our finances as well. We can help you with that. So everyone have a beautiful, blessed evening, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon. We'll get the replay out to everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Good night, everyone.